Hey guys, today another video, and today I actually want to make a video for Smash and Grab. More specifically, the explanation on how the Ransack game mode works and what kind of skills and tactics are actually needed to win a game. Be mindful though that this information is all based on what I've played in the closed beta weekend that at the time of this recording is still going on. So without further ado,
this is gonna be something, alright. Let's get started. Time to face our group.
6 players are divided in groups of 3 and they form 2 teams, Team West and Team East. The first team to accumulate $50,000 in loot wins the game. You can earn loot by smashing and grabbing the stores inside the shopping district or by killing other players and their gangs. Lastly, the key to winning is good communication between your teammates, speed, making the right decision at the right time, and map awareness.
It's time to make those worms suffer.
With that out of the way, let's go over to the user interface and explain the most important elements of it. The moment you start a match, the most important UI elements you want to look at is the time counter at the top and the map. So let's first go over the time counter. Okay, so going over the time counter from left to right. On the left you can see my 2 teammates and from there you can see if they are still alive. Then right next to that you can see the total amount you guys have collected for your team. Underneath there you see a green bar, and that means the amount of money you have collected as an individual. Now right next to there in the middle you can see a time counter. A full match takes around 50 minutes, but the time you see here is when it goes into the next phase. As you can see underneath there you can see a 1. That means that we're still in phase 1 of the match, and if it goes to phase 2 more shops will open, like better weapon shops and stuff. But we'll go over that when we eventually come to the explaining of the map. Right next to there you can see the amount of money the enemy team has collected. So let's now move over to the map. As you can see there's a lot of icons, but I am here to explain what all those icons means. So the first thing you'll probably notice is the big blue subway and the red subway in Ransack mode. This only means where both teams start, and if you go inside the station then you get also healed up to full health if you are wounded. So if you're low on health, it's a good idea to go inside the station and heal yourself fully up. Next you'll see the orange triangles. These are upgrade machines, so if you have enough ingredients to upgrade your weapons, then go to one of these orange triangles on the map, and then you can choose one of the 2 upgrades for your weapon. Next up is the orange stars. These are actually vending machines, and when you smash them they drop a one-time boost. These range from one of the 4 boosts that are right now in the game. That is damage, armor, speed and health. So sometimes if you're low on health, it's a good idea to maybe check one of those vending machines. Maybe there is a health vending machine close by, and when you pick these up they will heal you to full health. Now one of the most important elements of the map is actually the green little squares. These are actually the stores you can smash and grab for money. So get ready, because both teams are trying to, of course, earn money in Ransack mode. So when they see on the map it's blinking, that means somebody is taking the shop and if you don't see any of your teammates around, it's probably an enemy player trying to smash and grab the store. So watch out, because both teams are trying to fight over it, and this is where most team fights are starting. Besides stores where you can get money, there's also weapon shops. These range from 3 categories: heavy weapons, ranged and light. So the arrow are actually the light weapon shops, the sniper marker is actually the ranged weapon shop, and the little circle with the dot in it is the heavy weapon shop. So a good idea is to first go and smash and grab the shops that has the weapon that your leader uses, and then eventually go for the other shops, because even though your leader doesn't use those weapons, your crew or your gang will get the other weapons. It all depends what your team composition is, or at least your composition with your leader and your gang. Lastly, I want to talk about the dark and lit areas of the map. The lit area is actually the field of view all of your teammates have on the map. So if they see an enemy close by, you will see them in those light up areas. The dark areas is basically a fog of war. Everything that's dark is what you cannot see. So that's why it's a good idea to check when something is blinking, like the shops or the weapon shops. Maybe that way you can notice where the enemy team is. Again, let's look at the map while the gameplay is on pause to show you guys what I mean. Like for example, as you can see, a lot of shops are blinking with no teammates next to it. That means those shops are getting smashed and grabbed by the enemy players. Next up, where I want to talk about is weapon upgrades. As you can see, this is my weapon UI. And as you can see, I have my first weapon upgrade, that's number 2. And those colored circles around it means that you actually have the upgrades available for your weapon. So you can have both of them, like I have now. I have both my ice upgrade and sonic upgrade, but you can also have one of them only. It all depends on what kind of ingredients you have. So if you have only one, you only see one side of that card ring. But if you see this, that means that you have upgrades available for the weapon you are currently equipped with. So with that, let's go over to how the upgrading of weapon works. As you can see, I can select 2 weapon upgrades, and in order to upgrade, I need to push my mouse towards one of the upgrades and hold it there to upgrade and wait until it is finished. Now, since Smash and Grab is a competitive PvP game, team fights are not avoidable. They will eventually happen in the match. And the reason why it is so important is because when you kill the enemy gangs, you will earn money. But when you kill the enemy team leaders, you will also earn money, but that money comes from the enemy prize pool. So when you see them almost reaching the 50k they need, maybe it's a good idea to start a team fight and eventually win, because then you can push back the enemy team with their prize pool while you are still earning money. Be wary though that if you lose a team fight and they are almost winning, get ready for a lose, because then you will lose money for your team and they will eventually reach that 50,000. So make sure you take your time and make sure your teammates are together when starting a team fight. Also, never go lone wolf, because if you start a team fight alone and 2 players gang up on you, it's almost certain death, and again you will give the enemy team money from your prize pool. Lastly, I want to talk about the map phases and what changes to the map when you get into the next map phase. We already talked about it a little bit when I was talking about the time counter, but now we're going to go into more detail. So when you get into a next phase, new stores will open. These include bigger stores that have more money in it and new weapon stores that have the next weapon upgrades for your character. The only thing is with phase 2 and 3 is that there are never enough weapon stores for both teams. So if you smash and grab a store and you empty that store with your team, the other team cannot get those weapon categories, weapon upgrades anymore. So it's always a good thing to be on the lookout for the new weapon stores first, because you're really having a disadvantage when you do not have those weapon upgrades for your team. Of course, this all depends on how the match flow is going. So sometimes it's not the best idea to instantly go for the weapon shop. First look at the map and check then what's most important at that time. Again, make the right decision at the right time. Talking about map phases, map phase 3 is really important. Besides the normal stores opening like in phase 1 and 2, and phase 3 there are also big stores. The first change you're going to see here is that they are guarded by 3 NPC guards that can actually kill you if you're not careful. The big game changer with these big stores is actually that the 10k that's inside of these stores are actually really easy to grab compared to the other stores. When you smash and grab another store like in phase 1 and phase 2, you actually need to hold the right mouse button until you fully looted the store. The thing is, with the big stores, the displays can be smashed open in 1 or 2 hits, and when you right click you can instantly grab 1k worth of money. So it's definitely worth a look on the map if these shops are already getting looted. Besides the narrator of the game, you will hear throughout the matches will also say when one team or another has started looting these big shops. And with that, my friends, we come to the end of this guide on how to play the Ransack mode in Smash and Grab. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and hopefully the guide was helpful, and get out there and get looting.